Alright, today I have a couple of things. One thing came in the mail, and one is another grab bag. It's not vinyl records this time. It's from a local thrift store that does grab bags for $1. I've only bought one of them once before. I don't know. They have $5 grab bags and $1 grab bags. We'll do that last. I wanted to show you this. This is 2021 Chronicles Draft Prestige Extra Points Auto Damar Hamlin. This was years ago. At one point, the current bid was $40,000. Maybe they thought the money would go directly to his family. I don't know. And it had 6 days and 12 hours left. But that was crazy. So $40,000, and somebody probably did not get their money. Probably what happened is everybody backed out of the auction. Who has $40,000? You know, and I don't know how many bids that got. Maybe eBay. I have no idea. But, you know, if somebody backed out of the deal, said, nope, no thanks, I think that people get seller fees associated with that. So that's a lot of money that somebody probably lost. Unless somebody actually did pay that, you know. And it was a $5 autograph and somebody, you know, paid, you know, over $40,000 for that. The seller has only 173, so I don't know if it was shill bid or what happened, but that was something I found in a saved menu that I had a long time ago. So if you're ever, you know, looking at eBay wondering what to buy, I would suggest buying postage stamps, okay? Because you can use them if they're U.S. postage, and you can also do many arts and crafts things with them, but always make sure that you're getting what you're supposed to be getting. So some people buy these like 50 vintage postage stamps, from the 1950s on up to the 1970s or 80s, you know, get a piece of history, and everybody goes gaga, and those listings sell. And then when you do the actual physical math on a calculator, it's like, wow, I just got $2 worth of postage, and it cost me $12 or $10 or $12, and that happens all the time. You know, the listing could be $7 plus $3 for shipping, and they basically, you know, sold face value postage. Again, stamps in the 50s, if they're loose like this, they don't really have any value, other than because their low denomination is 3 cents, you know, 4 cents, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and up all the way up to 10. These, I want to say, if I can find my piece of paper here, which I had a minute ago, let's see what it says here on the sheet of paper here. This one says, okay, so one was $32 worth of, so basically I have 200 stamps here because each one was 100 stamps. So basically I spent $31.20, and so this would work out to something like $50 or something like that, because we got 32s and 20s. So I saved something like $18 on postage for getting them for like $31.20. So let's just see what I have in here. Now, again, when you're buying new postage, you want to make sure that it's fresh and clean, and it can be actually physically used. And I guess you could count. Sometimes you get stamps that are missing the gum on the back of it. This one, I don't know if it's missing the gum or it just might be stuck to another one here. Some of these might have no gum, like these look like they have no gum, so you have to probably glue them. That's unfortunate. That was not disclosed in the listing there. It looks like none of these have gum. Now, some of them have like a special gum that doesn't look like gum, but I'm pretty sure these were, you know, soaked off of something from a stamp book there. I can't really tell. Now this has its gum here on the back here. This is what you want to see, that yellowish shiny stuff there. Now these stamps unfortunately have zero value because they say Season's Greetings 1981. Now that essentially is like 18 or 20 cents. I couldn't remember what that is. It should be 20, but somewhere in that. And a lot of people just hate those because they're Christmas stamps. Why would you want to use Christmas stamps in May or April? You know, it looks weird. And again, the clerks are like not sure what that is because it's 20 cents. That's 40 cents there. Most people think these are Christmas seals, so collectors actually hate these things, and they'd rather burn them than use them. But, you know, again, what can you do? These ones here all have their original gum on there, and these were probably a big sheet that somebody's cut down to size. So they made them into more sellable sections here. That's exactly what that was. So these probably all came from the exact same sheet, or sheets, you know. And they said, well, let's just sell them as postage here, because if there's any kind of damage to the sheets, they usually have some perforation loss where they start to peel. So if I just take this one here and do this little bit here, that's what happens to the sheets, and then they're worthless. So you have to be very careful. But again, I like this stamp here, but I get enough of these and it gets a bad feedback there. Again, we've got more holiday / Christmas stamps that we can ever finish. These are not a popular one here because it's just a weird nothing design. I don't know what that is. And then we have, but again, when you put a lot of these ones in the mail that have the gloss to the front of it, semi-gloss, these tend to rip. So if you want your stamps to come back pristine, that's not really, they like to rip in the machines. And the Medal of Honor stamps are very nice there. But again, these are all going to be turned, you think these would have some sort of collectible value, even this one here? No, it doesn't. You just stick that on an envelope and use it. These can also be used for, stamp projects too. So you can do stamp envelopes, things with that, like this sort of thing here where somebody put the Norman Rockwell stamps on there, did a Norman Rockwell commemorative for that one there. But then again, we've got more Christmas 1981 stamps there. No value. And I might have to stick on those until Christmas time. Then we've got some more here. Again, some of them are single one alone stamps, which is kind of, I won't say frustrating, but again, so, we got a bunch of loose ones here, and so on and so forth there. If I counted everything, I could be down a stamp or a stamp extra that stick together. Then we got, blocks of 4. Again, sometimes you'll find stamp pinch damage on there, on the back of it. I think I saw one with a stamp pinch on the back of it. So that's 60, that's the dollar's worth of stamps there. 30, 60, 90, $1, 24, 6 or something like that. So there's that one there. And then we got, the old Civil War generals and things like that. So William T. Sherman, right there, and just, Dracula stamps. So you get a variety, or can get a variety. But these are all 32s. So the math may not math, and you might have to go to your post office and get extra stamps there to finish off your letter. Because some of these, like 30, 60, I got 64, now I got to get another, 14 or something on the letters there to get 78 or whatever, so I have to figure that one out. And so that may not be so easy. 20, 40, 60, 80, that's only 2 cents over, so you might want to overpost your letters if it's easier to do that way. But it's just a way to get, basically abandoned materials. Nobody's using these. Nobody's collecting these. They're only using them for letters, and you're not hurting the value. It's essentially junk wax era of stamps. Everybody saved them. There's another one, a favorite of mine, and one of these Utah ones are kind of neat there. And then we have different awareness type stamps there, and we have different, lots of causes here, and then we've got Ernest E. Just. I've used that stamp a number of times, and I've used that stuff. My book does not even go this far. It goes up to like 29 and then just the early 32s. So maybe Nixon's in the book, but no. So that's what I've got there. That's all to be used up, not to be collected or saved. It's like, oh, you should save some of that. That has some value. If you try to, eke out that value, what the fees that eBay charges for you, you might as well just give it away and use it. And what I don't understand is why people try to make some money on that. Now let's do this here very quickly here, because I've wasted a lot of time on postage. This is a grab bag, $1, and I said, let me just grab the first one that I touched, I think is that what happened there. Now we don't know, they've wasted a sandwich bag, so it couldn't have made a lot of money on them. Unless they get sandwich bags for free, they staple them, so they used a sandwich bag and staples that cost money. Maybe they don't, if they get them from storage unit sort of thing. So what we got here is just a bunch of unknown stuff here. Some sort of Hello Kitty thing with a battery holder there. So that, take it out of the bag here, if that works, it's missing its battery cover, but if that works, that might be something no, the battery cover's in there. So if I throw a couple batteries in there that works, I could throw that at the swap meet and sell that for $1. I mean, that's my money back right there, because that Hello Kitty is a popular thing there. So we'll see if that, I'll throw in a couple AA batteries and see if that works or lights up. If it doesn't, we'll just throw it out. Or sell it as is, give it to somebody who's interested in that. I'm looking to see if there's any kind of major damages to it. I have no idea. I have no idea what this is or how this is or whatever it is, but anyway, that's all, whatever that is. Oh, maybe it's not going to work. because it almost looks like maybe there's a burnt spot there. So maybe we don't want to mess with it. It looks like maybe it's burnt. So somebody got rid of it because it's burnt. So maybe I didn't make $1 there. But maybe I could just do something with that and give that away to somebody. We'll see. Oh yeah, there's a couple extra pieces that fell down there. So somebody can have that for 50 cents or a quarter. I don't know. We got some wooden craft stars. Goodwill tried to sell these for $2. So we're already ahead on these Fab Lab things. The holiday crafts there, they were probably blown out for next to nothing. Made in China. I don't know where they came from, but yeah. Would you pay $1 for those little craft stars? Maybe. Okay, well, we got all kinds of stuff here. I don't know. Little tent here with like some sort of, you know, turtle head there. Again, that could go separate or it could go to something else. Don't know what that is. Oh my gosh, it looks like I got the toy one here. So yeah, I got like a little bug creature there. They're not very clean. But again, I could throw these in. I don't know. That's probably McDonald's toy there. No clue. No clue. You just never know. Like some little dumb little poodle there. So, and then maybe there's a poodle bed. I have no idea. Weird stuff here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know what I have here. Oh, I see. That probably came off of one of these. Yeah, see, there's a little cat there that's supposed to do that sort of thing here. So yeah, if I go to the swap meet, I'll just throw these in a box and just somebody can have them, or just again something like that. I don't know what anybody paid me $1 for that. I was really not expecting, because a lot of times there's just been more crafting supplies in here, you know. So I got lots of little animals here. No earthly clue what I've got there. Some sort of McDonald's thing of Despicable Me that has no value, and more animal things here. Again, I guess I can throw them in a box and mark them 25 cents and make my $1 back on it. Again, these are not very clean, so that's a good one there. The tie one there, somebody will probably grab that one there. We'll see. We'll see. There's a couple more in there. Oh, a little soccer ball. Again, I don't know who that went to or what that goes to. No idea. So what else is on the menu here? Essentially what I have is get to it here. I've got some auctions that are ending today or tomorrow. That doesn't go in there. And don't worry, they're not expensive auctions. They're essentially dollar auctions. So if I lose them, there's no big deal. There's not to worry about that. It's just that I just need some junky cards for stuff and put some bids on for some of those. We'll see if I can figure that out. But anyway, I don't know. I'm just really tired because the hobby of all the different, you know, the vinyl record people, the record store left, and then the guy is going to take the old game room that was wasting his money, space, and he's going to put records in that particular room. It'll probably priced very accordingly, of course. I don't know if he said he had 10 or 20,000 records. That's the problem with everything these days. People just have a crazy amount of stuff because they bought and bought and bought, and that's why the prices are going to go way down on a lot of things, because everybody has 12 of everything. You know, look at my desk. I have 12 or 13 of everything. How lucky is that? So I hope everybody has a great Thursday, and thank you for watching.